This week on I Watched This as an Adult Movie Reviews, I review the Netflix Jamie Foxx vampire movie, Day Shift. Warner Brothers finally addresses Ezra Miller's legal issues, and I also review the 1997 video game film Mortal Kombat Annihilation. All that and more on I Watched This as an Adult Movie Reviews.
Hey there, I'm Jim.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Dusty.
From Dad's Doing Nerd Shit.
A podcast on the Fandom Lynn Media Network.
We talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff.
From Dungeons & Dragons to the MCU.
From video games to semi-current space news.
And anything else that catches our attention.
New episodes go live every Monday morning on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We can also be found on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter.
So roll the dice and join us as we discuss the things we love and the culture around being a nerd.
It's gonna be a hot one in Los Angeles. So what's on the agenda today?
Close your eyes, my eyes are closed. Like every day.
What are you doing in my room?
Hunting vampires. Money.
Vampire hunting is a business. Cut necks and cash your checks. Well, things have changed since you got your ass kicked out the union.
If I don't come up with 10K, my wife and my daughter are gonna move to Florida.
Hi, Dad. You're late again.
And the union is the only place that could give me that kind of money.
Your record is chock full of incidents. But he's a new man. One last chance. This is your final warning.
Let's get cracking.
Vampires just tried to kill me. Now I just pissed my favorite fucking
Hey, everybody pisses himself the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't. But listen, you did. You know what I see when I see a vamp? Big old dollar sign. Hey, don't you puke in here.
I swallowed it.
Locked and loaded. Doggy dog in the motherfucking...
Vampires. They live amongst us. And all they are is murdering. It's not Eclipse, New Moon, Breaking Dawn, Part 1. It ain't like that, all right?
Why do you know the names to all the specific Twilight films? What? And what's your gripe with Breaking Dawn Part 2? It's the exciting conclusion of the whole Twilight saga.
Welcome to the day shift, motherfucker.
Works every time.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
And welcome to I Watched This as an Adult Movie Reviews. I'm your host, Mikkel Ford. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about things I watched this week. Up at the beginning of the podcast, you heard the trailer for the Netflix movie Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg, and Megan Good. Those are the most popular, notable people in the movie. There's a lot more people in this movie, but let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about Day Shift. I remember seeing the trailer for Day Shift. I remember like a month ago. I want to say I was just perusing like through YouTube. I saw it through YouTube, like just perusing through YouTube, and it was like, oh, what's this? It's Jamie Foxx in a movie called Day Shift. I didn't know what it was about, and then I was like, oh, he's a vampire hunter. Okay, you know, it was like he's pretty much Blade, is what he is. Jamie Foxx is Blade. You know? But instead of just right out being a vampire hunter, he is he has a pool cleaning job. He cleans pools. That's his front. Like his front is like he cleans pools, but in real life, he kills vampires. Like he hunts vampires and kills them for money. It's a weird premise for a movie. Very weird premise for a movie. Where like you kill, like, cause like what happens is he kills the vampires and he takes their teeth, like he takes their fangs and he sells them to get paid. And like they're really the fangs. They're really like very detailed with these fangs. You know, cause like there's like, cause they tell you like what origin these vampires are, what type of vampires they are, like, cause like they got different vampires. It's like they're talking about animals. You know, they talk about vampires like they're talking about animals. They're like, oh, this one is a such and such, and like blah 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 blah. And like they nest together, and it was just like it was like they live in a hive. They're a hive mind or whatever the fuck. It was like. Like they talk about these vampires like the animals. But anyway, Jamie Foxx plays a character named Bud Jablotsky, which I'm like, there ain't no goddamn way that this character was originally supposed to be black. I like Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx took a character short notice. They probably had a white guy casted as this character. They probably had like fucking Ryan Reynolds or some shit, you know, like cast as this character, and he was like, oh shit, I can't do it. I'm shooting Deadpool 3 secretly. I don't know, whatever the fuck. And Jamie Foxx was like, hell man, I do it, you know. Yeah, I'll fucking do it. It's been a while since, I think it's been a while since I've seen. No, I'm lying, because he was just in Spider-Man No Way Home, but like that's like his first big screen movie in like a while, isn't it? Last thing I remember him in is that movie, and this is like years ago. This is like a couple years back now. Last big screen movie I remember him in was that movie where like he's a cop and like his son gets kidnapped. It's like a fucking rip-off of Waist Deep, if anybody remembers Waist Deep, with Tyrese and coincidentally Megan Good. You know, if anybody remembers that movie Waist Deep, it's kind of a rip-off of that movie, but the only difference is that Jamie Foxx is a cop. That movie got a lot of negative reviews and kind of killed Jamie Foxx's career for a little bit, you know, because you remember Jamie Foxx was on a high, man. Jamie Foxx was on a high after that Oscar, and like he won that Oscar in what, like 2005, you know. And then he was getting role after role after role, you know. And then he hit like Sleepless, and like I don't think I seen him in a lot of things. I know he was in Horrible Bosses. He's barely in Horrible Bosses. I think he's in Horrible Bosses too. But like he's barely in Horrible Bosses. Trying to think of stuff he was in like after Sleepless. Was he in anything after Sleepless? I'm trying to think. Oh man, he did. I'm trying to think of when he did Sleepless. When did he do that movie? Oh yeah, Sleepless was 2017. Yeah, and then he was in Baby Driver. I've never seen Baby Driver. I heard a lot of good things about Baby Driver, but I've never seen it. He was in that bad Robin Hood movie. Yeah, he was in that bad Robin Hood movie. He was in that horrible Robin Hood movie. He was in Just Mercy. Just Mercy is a big screen movie with him and Michael B. Jordan. Okay, that movie was actually decent. I actually watched that movie. He was in Soul. Okay, he was in Soul. I may be wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But he was in Soul. He did Soul because I forgot he was the voice of Joe Gardner in Soul, which that's a movie I thought was kind of lackluster. I was really looking forward to Soul. You don't know how long, I was like, I saw the trailer for Soul. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome. And I was kind of let down. Not going to lie, kind of let down by Soul. It's not my favorite Pixar movie. Not my favorite. It's a little lackluster. The beginning, the first couple minutes of the movie, I love. I love the first, maybe 15, 20 minutes of the movie. But after that, it kind of goes downhill for me from there. Like I said, he was in Spider-Man No Way Home, of course. And now he's doing this. But yeah, he also did Project Power. I forgot about Project Power. He did Project Power. But yeah, man, in his heyday, he was the shit. You know, Jamie Foxx was getting role after role after role. You know, it's kind of slowed down for him a little bit. You know, you'll see him here and there. You know, he just had that sitcom, I think, that he made with his daughter. I think his daughter wrote the sitcom or something like that. That got canceled after one season. Which I heard that. I've never watched it. I never watched that show. I heard it's pretty fucking bad. I heard that show's pretty bad. But yeah, man. But Jamie Foxx was upper echelon movie star in the mid 2000s. He's kind of you know, waned a little bit. You know, he's kind of waned a little bit, but he still gets roles every now and again. But Jamie Foxx just fell into this role, I believe. And I don't blame him. You know, get what you can get. Get it how you live. That's what we say back at home. We say, get it how you live. You know, get it how you live. If somebody don't want that opportunity, you take it. I get it any way you can, my brother. But yeah, man. But his name is Bud Jablonski. I was like, ain't no way a black man's name is Bud Jablonski. But anyway, getting off of that. But yeah, he's a vampire hunter. Let's get back to the movie. He's a vampire hunter. He got kicked out of this union, I believe. Because he's reckless. He does what he wants to do. He doesn't play by the book. There's a book for vampire hunting, I guess. I don't know. There's codes for vampire hunting. But yeah, he's got that. He's divorced from his wife, who is played by Megan Good. My God, Megan Good. The less I say about Megan Good, you know, oh my God. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna try to be good. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna be dirty here. You know, I'm not gonna be a dirty man. I'm just gonna say that's a lovely woman. You know, that is a lovely woman right there, Megan Good. Oh my God. But she's playing Jamie Foxx's wife. Jamie Foxx also has a daughter, who's played by this little girl named the actress's name is Zion Brodno. That's the little girl's name. She's okay. She does a lot of the, the run-of-the-mill, cute, precocious little girl stuff, and like, she does like the oh, I'm a curse and it's funny thing, because like she cursed. I think she says a couple of curse words, and like either Jamie Foxx or Megan Good's like language or something like that, and like I think she even like throws up the middle finger at like the villain, because like her and her mom get captured by the main villain, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Her and her mom get captured by the main villain in order to like draw Jamie Foxx's character out, so they could fight. They have that final battle. You know how it is when in these movies. I'm gonna kidnap your family, and you gonna have to come and save them, and we could fight. So type of thing. So that happens with like Jamie Foxx's family gets kidnapped in order to draw him out to have the final battle. But yeah, she throws up the little girl throws up the middle finger at the villain, oh, she's cursing, she's got a potty mouth and she does things, but it's so cute, type of shit, that's mainly what that little girl is there for. She's an adorable kid, though. She is. I saw her, I was like, she is a cute little girl, she is an adorable child. But anyway, but you got that, you got, Dave Franco is in here. Dave Franco is like the reluctant new partner of Jamie Foxx, because like Jamie Foxx is trying to get back into the union because Megan Good's character is going to move to Florida. They're in Los Angeles, which is where they are. Like the whole movie's set in Los Angeles. They use a lot of Los Angeles hip hop. They play Ice Cube. They play Ice-T. They play. They don't even play Ice-T. They play Body Count. they play Body Count. They play who else did they play? God dang it. I'm trying to remember who else they played. I can't think of who else they played. They played Snoop Dogg, because Snoop Dogg's in the movie actually too. I'll get to Snoop Dogg in a little bit later. Snoop Dogg plays like Jamie Foxx's like best friend. But yeah, they play a lot of LA hip hop in here. So like to let you know, yeah, we're in Los Angeles. Yeah, where the fuck I was talking about? But yeah, Dave Franco plays. Let's talk about Dave Franco. Dave Franco plays like his reluctant partner. Like I said, Megan Good's character is going to move her and the daughter to Florida. Jamie Foxx's character doesn't want that to happen. Cause like he wants to be close to his kid. Him and his kid have a great relationship, So like he's just like I don't want to lose my daughter. So like he's like I gotta do what I gotta do to keep my daughter. And like Megan Good's asking for like $5,000, something like that, or like $10,000. I think $10,000. She asked for like $10,000. So like he could like take care of his daughter, because like there's like certain things she needs she needs to stay in this school. She's in a pretty good school, and it's like a $5,000 tuition, and talking about like she needs braces, and that's like $6,000 or like $6,000 or $4,000 or some shit like that. It was like her astronomically high, which I know about the dentist. Like even when I got like dental insurance, because I had like a tooth that was chipped, and it was like hurting like really bad. I actually have another tooth that's chipped. It's not hurting, but it's chipped. In the back of my I think my wisdom teeth are trying to come through. Like another wisdom tooth already came through, but like I have another one trying to come through. So I remember with my dental insurance at all. And all of that, I was like, man, I got dental insurance. I'm like, I went to the dentist, and they're like, oh yeah, we could go see you. Like it paid for my dental insurance paid for the visit, but then they're like, oh, we got to take the tooth out. It's gonna be like fucking like $6,000 or some shit. I'm like, yo, what? And like they was like, and I think like it only like my dental insurance only covered like half of it, right? And I was like, what's the point of having fucking dental insurance if I'm gonna pay that much? You know? It's like, if it doesn't cover all of it, why do I have dental insurance then? You know, it was like it don't cover shit. I still gotta pay out of pocket. You know, that don't make no sense. I just went on a rant about fucking dental insurance, but I know what the fuck they talking about. Dental insurance is bullshit. But you need your teeth, so you gotta have it. So, you know, but yeah, they I'm still mad about dental insurance. But anyway, yeah, she said she's like, if he doesn't come up with the money, she's gonna take the daughter to Florida and blah blah blah. And he's just like, I gotta get on my P's and Q's. I gotta get back in the union. Snoop Dogg is his best friend in the union. He's a dude named John Elliott. That's his name. They call him Big John. So Snoop Dogg pulls some strings to get him back into the union. The guy that is like the head of the union doesn't like him, you know. But so like the guy says like, oh, you could get back in. He's like, you could get back in, but you're gonna have somebody ride along with you. That's where Dave Franco comes in. Dave Franco comes in. He plays this character named Seth, who's like an accountant. But then like he rides along. So like he's like riding along with Jamie Foxx's character, and he's like the biggest biggity bitch you ever want to meet. Dave Franco's character is fucking embarrassing. Like, they got this dude, and like every time he runs into a vampire, he starts fucking screaming for Jamie Foxx's character Bud. He's like, Bud, help me, Bud. Oh my god. He's like, he starts throwing up everywhere. Like when he sees like dead bodies and shit, he throws up. He pisses his pants. He like pissed his pants like twice in the movie after encountering vampires. You know, like vampires coming up to him and trying to bite him and shit. So like he's just like, oh my god, and then like he pisses his pants and this shit. And he throws up. There's like one scene where like Jamie Foxx goes to an old partner of his, played by Peter Stormare. He's a veteran actor, Peter Stormare. Peter Stormare is always good in everything he's in. So like the main villain actually kills Peter Stormare. Spoiler alert, sorry. So the main villain is a female. I'm gonna get to her. I swear I'm gonna get to her. I swear to God. But I'm gonna get to her. But yeah, the main villain like kills Peter Stormare's character, and like so Jamie Foxx goes to see him. And like he sees like everybody in his establishment is dead, cut up, fucked up, and like Dave Franco's there, and like he almost fucking throws up on the floor. And Jamie Foxx is like, hey, you better not throw up. You like, don't throw up in here. Like, don't you leave no goddamn DNA in here. He just like, and he's like, I swallowed it. You know, so, yeah, so yeah, Dave Franco's character is just fucking embarrassing, man. Let's talk about the main villain now. I said I was gonna get to the main villain. Let's talk about the main villain. The main villain is this 1,000-year-old vampire named Audrey. She like reincarnated herself. I wouldn't say reincarnated herself. She reinvented herself as like a real estate mogul, you know, but she's a vampire. You know, she's a vampire real estate mogul. She's a vampire that sells houses. So, like, she's played by an actress named Carla Souza. She's like a Hispanic vampire. I think she's supposed to be Mayan, because at the end they go into like this fucking like underground Mayan temple or some shit. But you know, at the end of the movie. But yeah, she's like your run-of-the-mill female villain. You know, walking around in a goddamn power suit. She's got like her power jacket on and her power suit, and like she just like spurts out like run-of-the-mill female villain rhetoric. like lines, like I've heard this in every female villain. She tries to be like a little smart ass, but is like whatever, like she kind of reminds me of Anna Kendrick. Like she kind of reminds me, like the actress kind of reminds me of a Hispanic Anna Kendrick. And I was looking at it, I was like, who could have played this role? Anna Kendrick. Like Anna Kendrick could have been this character, but I guess they couldn't get Anna Kendrick, so they got this lady. So but because like she reminds me of Anna Kendrick. But yeah, man, she's a very run-of-the-mill fucking villain. She barely even fucking matters. They try to make her intimidating, but she's not very intimidating. Even when she's killing people, like she kills a lot of people. She kills a good amount of people in this movie, and it's not intimidating at all. I'm not scared of her at all. She wants Jamie Foxx's character because apparently Jamie Foxx killed her daughter. Her daughter is also a vampire. Her daughter is like this I guess like she got bit when she was young. The main villain, she got bit when she was young, and her daughter wasn't a vampire, but she turned her when she was older. So like her daughter is like older than her, but Jamie Foxx killed her daughter. So like she's out for revenge. She's like, find whoever killed my daughter or whatever the fuck. So Jamie Foxx is the person that killed the daughter, so she's sending like a whole bunch of like vampire assassins after him and shit and all that stuff. But yeah, it's this movie is one of those type of movies that if Netflix wasn't around, this is where Netflix comes in. This is where streaming services come in, like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max and Disney Plus and all these streaming services. They kind of have become the new home for like mid-level movies. Just for mid-level movies, because this movie is a mid-level movie. Like it's not a bad movie, but it's not the greatest thing you ever want to see. It's not like a big budget blockbuster. It's not a big budget blockbuster. It's not an Oscar award contender, because like those are the movies that are really getting big screen attention. It's like got to be a movie that's like a real big spectacle, and it's got to be a movie that's like really gripping, and like it could be in contention for the Oscars, for an Academy Award. But like this is not one of those type of movies. This is a very like run-of-the-mill, like mid-level movie, and like that's what Netflix and Hulu and all those type of movies are for. I mean, like all those type of streaming services are for. It's for movies like this. Like it's a mid-budget movie. This is a movie like back in the day. This movie would have came out in like January or September, or even like maybe the end of August when summer movie season is dying down. Like this is one of those type of movies. It's like this ain't like a movie that come out in the middle of the summer or during like the Christmas season, the holiday season, or nothing like that. This is like a movie. This is a movie that comes out in the dead months, but in the new Hollywood movie system, there are no dead months. So you can release a blockbuster anytime you want to now. And because it used to be January. At one time, it used to be February. Deadpool changed that, where like February is not a bad word. I think even Black Panther came out in February too, right? Black Panther came out in February, made like $1 billion. So it was like, so February is not a dead month anymore. March used to be a dead month. That's not a dead month anymore, because like summer movie season used to start in June. They moved that shit all the way up to like fucking March now. They just kept inching summer movie season up. It was like, it used to be, when I was a kid, it used to be June. Then they started moving it up to May, like because of Memorial Day and like that's like kind of when like all the kids get out of school. Like at the end of May, we're like out of school. So like they was like, let's move summer movie season to May. And then they started inching that shit up to April. You know, like summer movie season is in April. I'm like, nigga, we still in spring. But you know, and then like all of a sudden now it's like, let's move it up to March. And let's move it up to March now. Like March is summer movie season, even though it's like still cold out. Like it's like 40 degrees outside, but it's summer movie season. But yeah, but like this is where like Netflix and Hulu and all those type of streaming services come in for movies like this, because this movie's not that bad. I'm gonna be honest, this movie's not that bad. Like there's still a lot of like dumb shit that happens in there that makes you roll your eyes, but it's campy. It's really campy. I had fun with this movie. It's a fun movie. There's fun fight scenes in it. The choreography in this movie really impressed me. I really liked all the fight scenes. Every fight scene in this movie is really fucking good. It was like every fight scene in this movie is really good. They even made Snoop Dogg fight good. You know? There's a scene in here with like Snoop Dogg. It's not really Snoop Dogg, but it's Snoop Dogg stuntman. You know? It's like when Snoop Dogg does like a fucking like spinning wheel, like crescent kick or some shit. You know, like, on a vampire. And I was looking at that shit. I was like, nah, you know damn well Snoop Dogg didn't do that shit. You know, like, it was cool though. It looked cool. Snoop Dogg stuntman made him look good. You know, like, I was like, he did like a fucking spinning crescent kick. He was like, bop, and he kicked a vampire in the face. I was like, that looked dope. But then like Jamie Foxx's fight choreography was good. Like the best fight scene in this movie is when like Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco go into this house with these other characters. They're called the Nazarian brothers. They're not twins, but like they're vampire hunters that are brothers. And that is like the dopest fight scene in that whole goddamn movie, man. Where like they fighting all the vampires in the house. Cause like it just reminded me like an old beat 'em up video game. You know, like, and like you're in a stage where like you're in a house or something like that, and like you just beating up bad guys, you know, like, and that was the whole scene. That scene went on for a while too. That scene went on for at least like, I want to say 3 minutes. It was a long fight scene. It was a long fight scene, because fight scenes ain't usually that long. You know, like fight scenes make me like 1 minute, 2 minute fight scenes. You know, but like this went for a good 3-4 minutes. And like good fight scene, good choreography. Everybody was doing their thing in that fight scene. There's a scene in there, I think like one of the Nazarian brothers had like a foot knife, like he had like a knife in his shoe, and he did like a spinning heel kick and kicked the fucking vampire's head off with the he kicked a vampire's head off with the knife in his shoe. It was fucking awesome, man. It was dope. But yeah, man, I like that fight scene. That's the best fight scene in the movie. You don't watch anything else in that movie, watch that fight scene. It's the dopest shit ever. But yeah, man, the rest of it, like, the dialogue's not that good. You know, dialogue's not that good. Jamie Foxx is funny. I laughed at a lot of stuff he said, because like he's not really a serious character in this movie. He's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, kind of like comedic, smart-ass type character, you know. So like he's not really taken seriously. Dave Franco, he has great chemistry with Dave Franco. Him and Dave Franco got really good chemistry. I was like, they were kind of like, it turns into kind of like a buddy cop film when Dave Franco comes in. So like it's like they're two buddy cops or something like that. I do hate with movies where like you get two people together, it's like one of the main guys is like really mean to the other guy. You know, like, because like when they first meet, Jamie Foxx is like really mean to Dave Franco, And it's like, nobody's that mean to anybody, you know? Like, nobody's that fucking mean. You know, where you're just like, nah, fuck you, you know? Especially with people you work with. You know, like, you're not gonna be that mean to somebody that you fucking work with. You're like, come on, man. Like, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, man, I like their chemistry. Their chemistry is good. Like I said, there's some dumb shit in this movie, you know, but you just take it with a grain of salt. I kind of enjoyed it. It was a fun ride. It's not a bad little movie. It's not a movie that's in theaters. You could just check it out on Netflix. If you want to check it out, go check it out. The fight, look at it for the fights. The fights are dope. Like I said, Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco got good chemistry together. You know, that's pretty much it. Villain's dry. I don't like the villain. The villain is very dry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I had to rank this movie, like if I had to score this movie, I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. You know, like it didn't offend me, really. It didn't really offend me. That's it. I'll be back with talking about this Ezra Miller stuff right after this message. Alright guys, welcome back to the show. I'm not going to talk about this too long, you know, because like I don't want it to be one of those long-winded episodes, but WB, Warner Brothers, finally addressed this Ezra Miller situation. You know, they finally addressed Ezra Miller. They were like a horse with blinders on, the one that wanting to ignore this shit for the longest. This motherfucker has been on a rampage for like the last 2.5 years now. This motherfucker has been a menace since the pandemic, since the start of the pandemic. This motherfucker has been tripping since like February of 2020. You know, like I want to say maybe even the start of 2020. But all I know is that video of him choking that lady out came out in March. Like he force choked that lady. He like grabbed that lady like he's the Undertaker and grabbed her and fucking about to fucking choke slam her ass. You know, when he did that shit. When he did that like that was in that video came out in March of 2020. That's 2 years ago now. 2 years ago. And they continued going forward with this man as the Flash. I think he did reshoots for the Snyder Cut. He came back as the Flash. They started shooting the Flash movie around that time, I want to say. They shot this movie. They know that this dude had an assault. Like, the assault is assault against a woman, which is worse. You know, they saw this stuff, and they chose to ignore it. It wasn't until he finally got arrested. Which he's been arrested before, I think, hasn't he? I think he's been arrested before. Like, didn't he get arrested? I think he's been arrested a couple of times, but like, this is the one that made them say, okay, we gotta address this shit. He walks into somebody's house. He did a B&E on somebody's house, like a breaking and entering in somebody's house, and stole their liquor, you know? And that is what WB chose to pay attention to. Not his continuous assault of women, like choking women, throwing chairs at women, harassing women, grooming little girls, grooming teenage girls, running away with teenage girls and nobody can find them. All of this shit he did, but this is what they choose. This is what they choose to acknowledge. And I tell you, man, I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast probably ain't gonna want to hear it. They probably ain't gonna want to hear it. They probably like, well, why you gotta bring race into it? Blah blah blah. You know, like, and if you don't want to hear it, you ain't gotta fucking hear it. You can turn the goddamn podcast off for all I care. I don't give a fuck. But if you want to be that way, and think I'm coming down on a certain race of people, you know, if you want to be that way, you don't need to listen to this show, because I love everybody, but you gotta call a spade, and you gotta look at the socio-political economics of this situation in the United States of America. And I'm gonna say it, I know it's a word that a lot of white people don't like to hear, but Ezra Miller is the product of white privilege. I said it. Ezra Miller is the product of white privilege, because there's no way that a black celebrity, a black actor, is going to get away with this shit. There's no way a black actor could go on a goddamn rampage for 2 fucking years and not lose everything. You know, and not lose everything. I mean, like everybody knowingly, it's in the public. It's in the goddamn public. It's public. Putting his hands on women. Harassing women. Grooming teenage girls. You know, everybody's seen it. There's no way that a black celebrity could do it. Look at the earlier this year what they were doing to Will Smith. Like, this man went on stage and smacked another dude for his wife, which he said it wasn't for his wife. I don't know what it was for, but now he's saying like, oh yeah, she got nothing to do with it. I don't understand that shit, but I'm confused now. But for that. But yeah, he slapped the dude, and now they want to take everything away from this man. They banned this man from the Oscars. They wanted to take all his movie deals away. This is a person that has been famous since he was like 16 years old. Will Smith has been famous since he was like 16, 17 years old. Like, this man's been famous for half a century. This man's been famous for like 35 years. He's been in the public eye for 35 years. He was 16, 17 years old. He's a teenager with money. You know how hard it is to be on your best behavior as a teenager with money? You know how hard it is to do that? To not be reckless, to not be out here thinking you invincible, thinking you Superman out here at 17 years old with fucking money, especially a black teenager with money, a whole access of money. This dude stayed on his best behavior as a teenager with money. He's been on his best behavior this whole fucking time. He waited till he's like 52 years old to lash out. And the first sign of him lashing out, they want to take everything away from this man. They want to take everything away from him. The first sign of this man lashing out, it's like this man had so much restraint from 17 to 52 to not act the ass. And the first sign of him acting the ass, let's crucify this man. But they don't do that with Ezra Miller. They don't do that with Ezra Miller. It was like, let's ignore everything this motherfucker has ever done. Now they wanna address it. You know, now. And like, it's for the dumbest shit too. This motherfucker went in somebody's house and stole some liquor. You know? Like, not the continuous assault on women, not the fact that he was running around with a fucking teenage girl. You know, pretty much fucking kidnapped this girl. You know, I'm like, I haven't even heard anything about this girl. Is this girl even back with her family? Nobody knows. You know, I know a lot of people could throw like, if you want to talk about that, you could talk about fucking what about all the other rappers that act crazy? They get punished. They go to jail. They do some type of jail time. You know, they do something. You know, they do fucking something. You know, so like something happens to them, and do they go back out there and act the ass? Sometimes, but but there's consequences for their actions. This dude's been doing this 2 years straight, and there hasn't been any consequences for his actions. There hasn't been any consequences for his actions. But I just wanted to use Will Smith as a big fucking example of a guy that's been on his best behavior like pretty much his whole career, and he has a lapse of judgment one night and decides to assault a man, and all of a sudden he's public enemy number one. You know? But Ezra Miller been doing this shit for like 2 years. Nothing. Fucking nothing. Now they want to do it. Like, now they're talking about the 3 options that they want to do with the Flash movie. I think they were saying like they want to get Ezra Miller help. He needs help. He needs jail time is what he needs. He needs fucking jail time. Cause like I said, if it was a black dude running around doing all this shit, you'll throw that nigga straight in the fucking jail. And like, he'd be straight in the penitentiary. That's where he would be. Y'all wouldn't be like, oh, he needs psychological help. Y'all wouldn't be doing that if Ezra Miller was black. Now you're saying he needs psychological help. And then he'd come out and like apologize for what he did and all this shit. And I think there was a second one where like they were just like saying he doesn't get help, but he just doesn't do the press junkets for the Flash. They probably just have like Michael Keaton and whoever else is in the movie do the press junkets, because I don't even know who else is in the Flash movie, because this motherfucker has been everywhere causing problems. So like they might just do that. They also are talking about just flat out scrapping the movie. The movie costs like $200,000. I mean, not $200,000. That'd be cheap. But the movie costs like $200 million, I think, right? They spent $200 million on this movie. And that's a lot of that's a lot of money to just scrap. You know, that's a lot of money to just fucking throw away. That's worse than Batgirl. Like 90 mil ain't shit to them. You know, but 200 mil, that's a lot, you know? So, so I don't know, man. Yeah, don't scrap the movie. I say don't scrap the movie. Don't scrap it. Let it come out. Recast. Like, they can recast. I know a lot of people say they want Grant Gustin, but Grant Gustin's not that good of an actor. I'm sorry. He's not that good of an actor. I was thinking of the kid that played, I say kid, but I think this guy's like 30 something. I was thinking about the guy that just recently played Elvis. What's that kid's name? That guy, I keep calling him a kid. I keep calling him a kid. I think this dude's like fucking 30. What's the dude's name? Austin Butler. That's his name. Austin Butler. The guy that recently played Elvis Presley in that Elvis movie. Because he kind of looks like Barry Allen to me. He's got blonde hair. He's got like a chiseled jaw. You know, like, I think he could pull off being Barry Allen. You know, it's like a lot of people when they cast movies, they just think of people that are in their face all the time. You know, just constantly in their face, and they don't think outside the box. You know, Because like Grant Gustin's already the Flash. That's lazy casting to me. That's just lazy casting. And he's not that good of an actor to me. I'm sorry, he's not that good of an actor. I think Austin Butler, he's getting rave reviews about playing Elvis Presley. I think he would be a really good Flash. I think he would be a really good Barry Allen. So he's already in the Warner Brothers camp because Warner Brothers made that Elvis movie. They did that Elvis movie. So think outside the box. Austin Butler as the Flash. I would like to see that. Yeah, man, but they really need to do something about this, because this dude is out here causing trouble. He's out here causing trouble and ain't nobody fucking stopping him. But yeah, man, that's, like I said, I ain't want to talk about this shit for very long. I'll be back with my Mortal Kombat Annihilation review right after these messages.
Every generation, an ancient gateway opens that links the Earth with another world. But this time, the ultimate evil has been released. Now, the fate of our planet is about to be decided. They fought for their lives. This time, they're fighting for ours. Excellent.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation from 1997. Let's talk about the technical first before we get into the movie. This movie was directed by John R. Leonetti, who actually went on to direct Annabelle. He directed the first Annabelle movie, actually. So this guy got work after this movie. The screenplay was written by Brent V. Friedman and Bryce Zabel, I think they had a little input by John Tobias, who is the creator of Mortal Kombat, like one of the creators. John Tobias and Ed Boon were the creators of Mortal Kombat. I think they had some input into this movie, but I don't know how much input like the studio actually used. So I decided not to put them in the writing credits. So the main screenplay was written by Brent Friedman and Bryce Zabel. The movie had a budget of $30 million and it brought in $51.3 million at the box office. It actually made way less than the first movie, which made $122.2 million on a $20 million budget. So this movie cost more, made less. The first movie cost less, made more. So that's crazy. The movie also has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 4%. 4%. That's the score of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This might be one of I think there was another movie that I reviewed where it had a pretty dismal score. It was a really abysmal score. I can't think of the movie right now. I'm not gonna go through it, but this is another one of those worst movie ever scores. This is a really bad score. But anyway, let's talk about how I saw the movie as a kid. This is actually the first movie that my parents let me see alone. Yes, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I think I was 12. I think I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old. Because I remember bugging my parents to take me to see this movie because I saw the trailer for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I was like, oh my god, that looks awesome. Little did I know. But and I was a huge like Mortal Kombat fan. You know, I stayed up many nights playing those games, playing like Mortal Kombat, playing Mortal Kombat 2, playing Mortal Kombat 3, you know, playing all those games. I think at the time like Mortal Kombat 3 was out, I was playing the shit out of Mortal Kombat 3. So yeah, I was a big fan of Mortal Kombat. I guess they figured I was old enough to go to the movies on my own. They actually called my aunt. Actually, she had to chaperone me because I didn't have a way to get there. You know, so my aunt brought me there, but like she didn't go in the movie with me. She dropped me off, and then she picked me up. You know, so she brought me there and picked me up. So like I went to go see the movie by myself. So Mortal Kombat Annihilation was my first solo movie. That was the first movie that I went to go see by myself. That's the only memory of Mortal Kombat I have. You know, so the only fond memory of Mortal Kombat I had, because like it was me transitioning to not going to the movies with my parents anymore. I could go to the movies by myself. But yeah, this movie starts off with that like high energy music. You got that dude yelling Mortal Kombat at you. You know the dude, the Mortal Kombat dude. You know the dude. But they give you a recap of the first movie for some reason. Like, I guess for people who didn't see the first movie. But if you didn't see the first movie, why would you go see the second? Like that. This recap doesn't make any sense, but not making any sense is going to be a running theme in this movie, so get used to it. We get the characters, we return to the characters from the first Mortal Kombat movie. Liu Kang, Kitana, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, and Raiden. Liu Kang is once again played by Robin Shou. Kitana is once again played by Talia Soto. But they are the only original cast members to come back for this sequel. Sandra Hess replaces Bridget Wilson as Sonya Blade. Chris Conrad replaces Lindsay Ashby as Johnny Cage. And James Remar replaces Christopher Lambert as Raiden. The beginning of this movie. Let's talk about the beginning of this movie. The beginning of this movie is less Mortal Kombat and more Power Rangers. Because we get introduced to the villains who are surrounded by a bunch of flipping ninjas. Like, they flip. Like, the ninjas flip a lot. Like, they do, like, cartwheels and backflips and somersaults, and they flip a lot. A lot of flipping ninjas in this movie. Shao Kahn shows up looking like Lord Zed. Like, he looks more like Lord Zed than Shao Kahn. All the other Mortal Kombat characters are relegated to just being his henchmen, including Katana's mother Sindel, who delivers that famous bad line that you've probably seen on the internet. Too bad you will die. You know the line. You know the goddamn line. She's a bad actress, but I'll talk more about her as the review goes on, because she's just comedy gold, you know. Very pretty lady, just not the best actress. This movie is just bad from the start, man. This movie is just bad from the start. You got Raiden and Shao Kahn flipping to each other just to talk. And I'm like, what's the point of that? Mainly, I'm like, who is this movie for? Like, at this point, that's what I'm like. At this point, I'm like, who is this movie for? Because it's not for Mortal Kombat fans. It's like they made a Mortal Kombat movie for 8-year-olds. For 8-year-olds with ADHD. You know? Like, they made a Mortal Kombat movie for ADHD 8-year-olds. You know, that's what they made this movie for. Say what you want about the first Mortal Kombat movie, but it had a little bit of edge to it. It's kind of like the studio found out that little kids like Mortal Kombat 2, so they just catered to them. Because this movie is just a giant fucking Saturday morning cartoon. It's a Saturday morning cartoon on the big screen. It really is. Because like, the most edgy thing they do in this movie is kill Johnny Cage. That's the most edgy thing they do. It's also the stupidest thing that they do, because Johnny Cage is the most popular character in Mortal Kombat. Why would you kill the most popular character in Mortal Kombat? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I see why Lindsay Ashby didn't want to come back for the sequel. Then there's this like stupid scene where Raiden has the good guys rolling around in like these giant metal balls for transportation. It's a really dumb scene. I don't even know why I mention it. Like, it leads nowhere. The dialogue in this movie is just fucking atrocious. Like, it's generic Saturday morning cartoon dialogue. You know, it's like, I will take over the world. Liu Kang and shit, and just like, not if we can stop you, or whatever the fuck, you know. You know, just generic Saturday morning cartoon dialogue. Fights in this movie just happen. They just happen. Like, there's no setup to why any of these people are fighting. You don't get a backstory to why any of these people are fighting. New characters just show up out of nowhere. Smoke, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion just show up and are just like in the same scene. They all show up in the same scene, by the way. You get Smoke, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion all in the same scene, just fighting each other. They just show up and they're never seen again. Scorpion kidnaps Katana, by the way. He kidnaps Katana, and we just don't see him again throughout the whole movie. Like Liu Kang don't get revenge, don't fighting him, nothing. Like, all these characters just disappear after one scene. A character that does stay, that I wish would go away, is Jax, played by Lynn Williams. Because since they killed Johnny Cage in the first 5 minutes of the movie, we need a new comic relief character. And that's where Jax comes in. He's the most useless character in this whole goddamn movie, and that's saying something, because like, he's just here to crack jokes. He's pretty much like buff Sinbad. You know, like, that's pretty much what he is. Because like, all his comedy is kind of like Sinbad comedy. You know, like, he's a buff Sinbad. That's who he is. He just gets his ass whooped throughout the movie too. Like, just everybody just all up whipping his ass, whipping all up in his ass in this movie. Like, they did Jax like really dirty. I like that character. I like Jax. I like that, but they did that character fucking dirty, bro. Like, he just gets his ass whooped and cracks bad dad jokes. That's all he does in this movie. The special effects in this movie suck as well. Like, the movie looks like it was like shot on like one of those like AOL discs that you like get in the mail. You remember those? Like they used to send those like AOL discs, those America Online discs in the mail. It looked like what they shot this on. It looked like they shot this shit on like a fucking Neo Geo or some shit like that. Not even Neo Geo CD. They shot this shit on the original Neo Geo. That's where they shot this shit. Also, characters die out of nowhere. Like Rain. Like, Shao Kahn just randomly kills Rain. Like, I didn't even get to see him fight, bro. I didn't even get to see him fight. Like, they just killed him out of nowhere. They don't talk about his backstory, because Rain is kind of an important character in the Mortal Kombat lore. Like, he's like Katana's, like, friend or ex-boyfriend or some shit like that. Because, like, he and Katana are, like, the same, like, race. They're, like, Edenionian or whatever the fuck it's called. But, like, they're, like, the same race, which is why he wears purple. And, like, they got, like, Katana and Rain got, like, a relationship. And, like, we don't get no explanation for that here, because he just dies out of nowhere. But Nightwolf is here, and then he's gone. Which is a shame, because he looked cool too. Like, he looked really cool in this movie. Like, he looked like video game Nightwolf. It's like, he looked super cool. Like, too cool to spend another minute in this movie, I guess. Like, he's gone. He's like, I'm in and I'm out. Pay me. Give me my check. Then all of a sudden, this movie turns into a softcore porn when Jade shows up. Like, she just shows up, like, half butt naked, ready to bone Liu Kang. Like, for a minute there, I thought I was watching an episode of Red Shoe Diaries there for a minute. I was like, wait, when is... This isn't Cinemax at, like, 2 a.m. You know? This isn't Showtime at 2 a.m. What is this? Jade is played by an Asian actress, like an Asian actress. But in the game, I believe she's black. I believe that character is a black woman. She's most definitely a black woman in the new games, because, like, in the new Mortal Kombat game, she doesn't even wear a mask, and you could tell that it's a black woman. But hopefully, in the new movies, they get a black woman to play her. I hope so. I hope they do that. So new Mortal Kombat movie, Warner Brothers, hey, cast a black woman as Jade. Melina is here, and she does all three of the tropes in this movie. Like, she just does the trifecta. She shows up, fights for no reason, and dies, and she does it all in 2 minutes. Like, that's gotta be a record. They changed Raiden for no reason. Like, they change up his look. Like, Raiden just shows up in like a Old Navy vest and some Old Navy khakis with a short haircut. And they did, like, I don't even know why they did that. Like, I guess James Remar got tired of wearing the wig. You know, like, the wig just got in his face or whatever. He just like, oh, I gotta take this fucking wig off. And they were just like, how about we just cut the hair? He's like, let's do it. And he just shows up with his hair. So I don't know why they did this. Speaking of changing looks, like, Shao Kahn, like, never wears his mask throughout the rest of this movie. Like, it's just, he wears the mask at the beginning of the movie. I think he wears it at the end for, like, maybe a split second, and then he just takes that shit back off. You know, but, like, he doesn't wear the movie for he doesn't wear the mask for most of the movie, and it just makes him look less intimidating. He looks silly. He looks fucking silly. Let's talk about Sindel. The chick that plays Sindel is just, she's very campy. She's very campy. I said that she's a bad actress, but I feel like she's, like, the only person that knows what kind of movie she's in, and she's having fun with it, you know, because, like, she's just, I feel like she's just having a ball with this movie. You know, like, cause like she's campy. I looked that actress up and it looks like she did a lot of like B movie stuff. You know, so like she knows what the fuck this movie is. Cause this movie does kind of come off as like a B movie. So she just plays it up. She plays this up for laughs. She's comedy. Like I say, comedy gold is the lady that plays Sindel. Baraka is here, and you know the fucking deal. You know the fucking deal with Baraka. Shows up, fight, dies. You know the fucking deal. His makeup looks terrible, by the way. Like, it looks terrible. They made him look like Sloth from the Goonies. Is what they made him look like. He looked like Sloth from the Goonies with like blades on his arm. He looks fucking terrible. Jade betrays Raiden in the game for some reason and then just fucking dies. Like, there's no follow-up or nothing. She just fucking dies. Like I said, this movie makes no fucking sense. I told you. Making sense is like the running gag in this whole goddamn movie. The rest of the movie doesn't really fucking matter. The rest of this movie is just a bunch of senseless karate fights and a bad, really bad, oh my god, terrible CGI battle at the end. Like, just sucks, man. This movie is garbage. There's nothing more I can say. There's nothing more I could specify about this movie. Like, the movie is just pretty much garbage. Like, it killed the Mortal Kombat franchise for a while. Because, like, even the game suffered after this movie. They made Mortal Kombat 4, I believe, after this. And that movie, that game is fucking atrocious. Then they made, like, a Sub-Zero game that's bad. They made a Jax game that's bad. Like, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. I think it's Jax and Sonya. That game is fucking atrocious. But it took a long time for Mortal Kombat to come back to prominence. You know, I want to say like maybe like the mid to late 2000s is when Mortal Kombat really started to catch steam again. And now it's back. You know, there was a new Mortal Kombat movie out, which is not as good. You know, it's not as good, but it's better than this shit, I tell you that. But way better. I'll take the new Mortal Kombat over Mortal Kombat Annihilation any fucking day. But yeah, this movie just plain sucks. I'm going to give this movie the coveted 0 out of 5. This movie gets the coveted 0 out of 5. Not a lot of movies get that, but this joins a special class of bad movie. Join me next week when I will be reviewing Lethal Weapon 2. Until next time, peace.